Hey everyone, yesterday I talked about the standard Pokemon card sets you should buy and open on PTCGO, and today it's all about Expanded. In front of you is every single currently available set in Expanded, and there is a lot of them. And it goes all the way from Champion's Path last month, all the way back down to Black and White base set in early 2011. It's overwhelming for new players to say the least, just to know which set they should buy and open and find the cards. So to help save you time and money, I'll guide you towards the best sets in Expanded. I'll skip past Sun and Moon for now and go straight to XY. Now look closely at all of these sets. You see all these XY packs? Yeah, nearly all of them are completely worthless and should never be opened by anyone, anywhere, anytime. They are just bad. If you don't believe me, go watch any of my XY opening videos, preferably with the sound off, and you will learn that there are several sets with no valuable cards to pull at all. However, if you have to open one set from the XY block, definitely make it Roaring Skies. This set has Shaman EX, which is one of the best cards in Expanded, and it's sitting at 16 packs on the trade market, and that's 16 Darkness Ablaze packs. So if you have to pick one, I think Roaring Skies is the best option. It also has Skyfield and Trainer's Mail, two really good trainers in Expanded, as well as a few other cards, but if you ever want to buy an XY set, the best chase card in all of XY and Expanded is Shaman EX, and that's in Roaring Skies. And there's also one other set you should pay attention to in Expanded, and that is Phantom Forces. This would be my second and I think my last pick for sets you should open in Expanded, and I'll actually just bring up some of the cards here in Phantom Forces to give you an idea of what you can expect. And if you're well versed in Expanded, you'll notice a lot of cards that you see in Expanded a lot are in this one set. Now, while there are some good Pokemon, like the Night March Pokemon are in Phantom Forces, I think the staple trainers in Phantom Forces are well worth the price of admission. In this one set, you have Versus Seeker, Professor Sycamore, AZ, Battle Compressor, Dimension Valley, Enhanced Hammer, Robo Substitute, Roller Skates, and Target Whistle. If you're building a deck in Expanded, at least one or two or three of those cards are likely to be in your deck, so Phantom Forces is a great choice when it comes to staple trainers, just it's not that great anywhere else. Now, I won't say that every other XY set is complete trash. There are some other staple cards in Expanded. Primal Clash has Teammates, Breakpoint has Max Elixir, Breakthrough has Floatstone, and Ancient Oranges has Lysander, but that doesn't mean buying those sets is worthwhile. If you're hunting a single low-value card from a set, you're better off just trading for them on the trade market instead of wasting your coins or your money in real life. So to quickly sum up XY, Roaring Skies and Phantom Forces, those are the two you should be focusing on. Leave out everything else, and Double Crisis, never get Double Crisis. It costs a lot more than any other pack in XY. There's no real good cards in it. I think there's one or two maybe decent cards. But never get Double Crisis. It is a waste of money. Same with all the other sets. I think Evolution is like 5 cents per code. It's not really even worth it for Evolutions. It is just such a bad set. Turning the attention to Black and White, this is where some of the good packs start to come in. Overall, Black and White eclipses XY in almost every category except for the Shaman EX category, and several of these packs are definitely worth opening. First and foremost is Boundaries Crossed, which is where you can find Computer Search, one of the best cards in Expanded that costs 40 packs normally. If you spend your in-game coins on this set, you might be able to save yourself a lot of packs in the future, but aside from Computer Search, there isn't a ton in the set otherwise, so it's really up to you if you want to go hunting for Computer Search. Just keep in mind that Computer Search is really the only worthwhile card that you can pull from Boundaries Crossed. Next up from the Black and White era, where is it? There's Plasma Storm. That would be my next pick. This one has Hypnotoxic Laser, Verbank City Gym, Colress, Dowsing Machine, which is the second best ace spec and costs 16 plus packs, as well as Scramble Switch, another really good ace spec. And then rounding out the top three would be Plasma Freeze. This set, I'm sure people are familiar with it. Not only does it feature one of the most expensive cards in the game in the Secret Rare Ultra Ball, but you'll also find Superior Energy Retrieval, Life Dew, Floatstone, the Propagation Execute, and more. So to quickly sum up the Black and White era, Boundaries Crossed has the best playable card, but not much else. Plasma Storm has a good variety of useful trainers, and Plasma Freeze can get you the Golden Ultra Ball. And to quickly touch on the rest of the sets, Black and White base set, Emerging Powers, Noble Victories, Next Destinies, Dark Explorers, Dragons Exalted, stay away from Dragon Vault. That is just like Double Crisis, where it costs a lot to get just one pack and there isn't really worth anything getting in there. But for those packs I mentioned before, so Base Set, Emergent Powers, Noble Victories, Next Destinies, Dark Explorers, Dragons Exalted, Plasma Blast, Plasma Blast is fine. And then Legendary Treasures, stay away from those ones. Just stick to Boundaries Crossed, Plasma Storm, and Plasma Freeze, so these three right here. The rest you can avoid. They really only have one or two decent cards that you should probably just trade for normally. I think one of the exceptions would be Dark Explorers, just because that has Dark Patch, but I mean, if you're buying Dark Explorers just to find Dark Patch, you're probably wasting your money. I think it might be smarter just to hunt something like Computer Search and just trade for Dark Patch, but I'll leave that up to you. I've given my recommendations. The rest is up to you. Now, out of all of these packs I mentioned from X, Y, and Black and White, they are only worth buying with in-game coins, not real-life money. The reason for that is I checked Card Cavern as well as other code sites, and the prices for these older expanded codes is way too high, except obviously with Evolutions and Steam Siege because they're not so great. But when you dive a little further back, they just get crazy expensive, and I'll show you what I mean. For those three sets that I mentioned you should buy with in-game coins, Plasma Storm and Boundaries Cross are $1.50 US each, and then Plasma Freeze is $2 each. You can't blame the sites for charging extra for these just because they are so difficult to find these days. But if you were to trade for some of these packs in PTCGO itself, you could easily get them for one, maybe two Darkness Ablaze packs, and Darkness Ablaze is only 43 cents each at the time of filming. What I'm trying to say is, don't be captivated by the prospect of opening rare packs. Most of the X, Y, and Black and White sets only have a card or two worth pulling, and even then, it's usually a very low value card. With how much you'd have to spend in real life to get these code cards, it just isn't worth it to buy any X, Y, or Black and White sets. Instead, just focus your attention on the most recent main set, which is Darkness Ablaze, and I'll scroll all the way back up and see if I can find it. Just focus on Darkness Ablaze. That is the set everyone wants to get their hands on. Nobody wants to sell their Computer Search and get 100 Evolutions packs. They want 40 Darkness Ablaze packs. So just like in Standard, focus on buying Darkness Ablaze code cards and using those to get the cards you need in Expanded. Again, just like in Standard. And that's because the general rule of thumb on PTCGO is that the most recent set is the set that everyone wants. So if you buy the most recent set, if you're watching this video in 3 or 4 months, maybe Vivid Voltage is the new Standard. But right now at the time of filming, that is Darkness Ablaze. You should always focus on that most recent main set. That is Darkness Ablaze. And yes, that even counts for Expanded. Everyone wants the most recent set. That is the one you should be focusing on. And I won't prove my point by showing you, but let's just remember that Darkness Ablaze is 43 cents. I can trade a copy of Darkness Ablaze to get 3 XY sets. And let's just use these 3 for an example. I could trade a Darkness Ablaze pack very easily for 1 Breakpoint, 1 Breakthrough, and 1 Ancient Origins. So it'd be a 1 for 3 trade. But if you look at right here, it would be way over 43 cents to buy them separately. So as I've said multiple times, don't get tricked into buying these older sets. Phantom Forces is good, but you can get 2 Phantom Forces for a Darkness Ablaze pack, and Phantom Forces cost more than a Darkness Ablaze. I know I'm repeating myself here, but it has to be said, don't waste your money on these sets that don't have anything good in them, and don't waste your money on sets that are so much more high value just because they're so hard to find. Stick with Darkness Ablaze. I will shut up about that, and I'll move on to the next part of this video. Now, you might think I forgot about Sun and Moon, but I didn't. I'll leave out the standard Sun and Moon sets for now, so that's the most recent ones from Team Up to Cosmic Eclipse. I'll avoid those for now, and I'll just focus on the rest. And the reason is, obviously, in yesterday's video, I talked about the sets in Standard, and it's pretty much the same. The good cards in Standard are also good in Expanded, like Dedenne GX and Crobat. Yes, even Crobat V is still getting expanded, but right now I'll just talk about the rest from the first 2 years of Sun and Moon. Much like XY, there isn't much that you should actively be buying and opening, as most of the Sun and Moon sets just contain a card or two that you can get for cheap in trades, and no better example is Shining Legends. There's just Zoroark GX. Zoroark GX has fallen off and expanded just a crazy amount, but that's about the only card in Shining Legends worth getting. But if you try to get your hands on Shining Legends pack, the price is just super inflated because it's a special set, you can't get it in the shop, so just again, don't be fooled by that, avoid Shining Legends, avoid most of these sets. There is one exception, however, and that is Guardians Rising. If you want to buy a Sun and Moon set, definitely make it Guardians Rising. There we go. Guardians Rising is an amazing set. There are several staple trainers, some decent GX Pokemon, and it also provides the chance to get yourself gold energy. And with Guardians Rising codes down to about 15 cents online, it's also not a horrible option for spending your real life money on. And just like with Plasma Storm, I believe, you can just look at the trainers here and you'll notice that Rescue Stretcher, that's an expanded. Field Blower, 100%. Enhanced Hammer, yes. Choice Band, it's kind of fallen off. Max Potion's still good. Brooklet Hill, if you're trying to build a water or a fighting deck, of course you want it in there. And then there's also something like Aqua Patch. If a really good water type Pokemon comes out really soon, you're going to want Aqua Patch. That's just a great card. And then there's lots of gold in the set as well. So Guardians Rising, if I had to pick one of the sets from the first 2 years of Sun and Moon, it would 100% be Guardians Rising. And if you've been noticing that I have a lot of these packs, it's because I'm planning on doing a 500 pack opening and a 1000 pack opening in the very near future. So make sure you're subscribed to see that. But that is why I have so many packs right now. Now, I know I've rambled on, so I'll answer the question in the title of the video. The expanded sets you should be buying and opening with your in-game coins are Guardians Rising, Roaring Skies, Phantom Forces, Boundaries Crossed, Plasma Storm, and Plasma Freeze. I don't know why I didn't have them up on the screen when I said that, but here they are now. Under no circumstances should you spend money on code cards from any sets in Expanded, except maybe Guardians Rising. Instead, get Darkness Ablaze packs and use those to trade for what you want. These 6 sets are the best ones to focus on for new players in Expanded, just because they have so many staple cards, they have computer certs, just focus on these 6. Now, I'm sure even after all that, you still have tons of questions about buying and trading and opening, so feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll try to answer it, or else somebody might be able to as well. Additionally, there's the PTCGO subreddit, which is a whole community with countless posts designed to help new players. So with that, I'll sign off. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe for more PTCGO content, and I'll see you tomorrow with another tips video.